What's going on, guys? Welcome back to W.D.Y.D. CSP. What do you do as a central store processor? Guys, today I want to take it back to basic instruments over in the prep and pack side or assembly area. What is it that we do with our instrumentation? Our basic clamps. All right. So these are clamps or ring forceps as they're also known. I'm not going to go into the specific names of each one. There is resources out there that can do it a lot better than I can. Although I know my instruments very well, I'm not going to bore you with that aspect of it. I'm actually going to educate you on what we should be doing in the prep and pack side when we're looking at our instruments. What is our duty in the prep and pack side? We are quality inspectors, right? So they first went through decon, now they come to our table. So we're checking for cleanliness, we're inspecting for function, and any defects. We are making sure that what we have in front of us is what's supposed to go into that instrument tray or what needs to be used for the order given. So it may be peel pack, so I may be peel packing all these instruments, or this may belong to a set. So what do we do in prep and pack when we get an instrument set? Well, first and foremost, we want to sort our instruments out to make sure, to give us a kind of overview of what it is we're dealing with, how many different instruments are in there, and what should go in, what's going to go in the set quantity wise. Okay, the next part of it is inspecting for cleanliness. Okay, this should be a very detailed, focused inspection, right? There are different instrumentations, but when it comes to clamps, the anatomy is pretty much the same in all of them. Okay, it's the jaw, you have a box lock, a shank, you have the rings, and you have the ratcheting part. Now, not all ring forceps, as they're also known as, have a ratcheting clamp on it. Some of them are missing that, but the anatomy is pretty much the same. So what are we inspecting? So I'm going to place most of these off to the side because I want to grab two instruments that look similar and inspect them and show you what we should be doing. So first thing you want to note when your instruments come to you over in the prep and pack side is that none of them were in a closed position. They were in a closed position and they didn't get an effective cleaning. You also want to note that if these instruments can come apart, that they were taken apart for cleaning, unless the IFU states something different. Okay? Instruments should be in an open position, preferably in a wide open position. They can be laying flat in the basket or standing straight up. Okay? As an assembler, you want to note, does this instrument function well in my hands? Okay, are they opening and closing smoothly, or am I having to put extra effort in closing this, especially when I place my thumbs in there? Am I having difficulty opening and closing this instrument? The answer is no. Then you're okay to proceed to the next. If the answer is yes, you want to look for either any defects in the instruments, or if the IFU allows, apply some instrument lube, work it through to see if it makes a difference. If it doesn't, then that instrument may need to go out for repair. All right. The inspection for cleanliness. Always start with the working end of the instrument. Okay, that is usually the area that has the most soil. So you want to inspect this first with the naked eye. You want to give it a quick look. Look at the box locks on both sides and the groove of the box locks. Look at the shanks of the instrument, the rings of the instruments, and then you want to look at the ratcheting part. Okay? You want to inspect that for cleanliness and for any damage. Does the jaws look worn or beat up? Are they like bonded together or look like they were grinded down? Does the instrument, when you close it, do the tips line up, or are they off-centered or misaligned? Okay? Are there any bends in the shaft? Any cracks in the box locks or the rings? Does the instrument ratchet correctly? Okay? Do you hear those clicks, or can I not ratchet this instrument together at all because it's bent, so it won't ratchet? Okay? The other part of that is the ratchet test. So, okay, you've determined that your instrument ratchets closed, but will it stay closed? You want to place it on the first click of the ratchet, you want to grab your index finger and your thumb and place it on the box lock on a surface that's not padded. Okay, this surface is very thin, guys. You hear that tapping? Okay, you want to give a light tap of the instrument on one side, turn it around, and do the same thing. What you're looking for is for that instrument to spring open. If that instrument doesn't spring open, then your ratchet is good. But if you're doing that light tap and this instrument springs open, it needs to go out for repair. Now, I told you I wanted to grab two like instruments because it can be often confused. Instruments can be confused very easily. If I look at it from this side, this instrument looks very familiar or very similar until I turn it to the side. Okay, two different instruments. Okay, with the inspection of the instruments, I told you we should look for the alignment of the jaw. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but you see how that jaw is misaligned. You've just done your naked eye inspection, right? Your raw inspection. Your inspection should now go into lighted magnification mode. Can you do it simultaneously? You sure can. Doesn't have to be, I do this and then that. I can do this really quick and go right here, right on the back. Or if you think that you can just do lighted magnification, I like to look at it raw first, and then if something catches my eye, is I go into lighted magnification to confirm what I'm seeing. And it's whatever suits you. Sometimes the looking under magnification for too long can hurt your eyes, so please take a rest from looking under lighted magnification all the time, because it will affect your eyesight after a while. But give it a good check, because you have to get that sweet spot, right? You can't magnify from way back here, right? Okay, it's going to give you a blurry picture. Okay, you got to get that sweet spot. I often hear technicians say, oh, I can see better without the magnification. Do you really know how to use the magnification to benefit? Okay, there is a sweet spot. You can't, for this one here, this is a 5 and 10 time. If I'm way over here, I have a very blurry image as compared to this distance right here, where I have a nice, crisp, clear vision of what I'm looking at. This is 5 times, this is 10 times. The 10 times has to be adjusted as well. Smaller field of vision, okay, but I have to be at a certain spot, and it's difficult to actually get in there. So you see the distance where I'm at right now to get that 10 times, and when I'm moving this very quickly, it can be a little distorted. So you want to make sure you are teaching your technicians how to correctly use magnification so that you can effectively inspect your instrumentation. Again, you're working in your jaw, your box locks, your ratchets. You're inspecting for cleanliness and damage. That box lock is notorious to have micro cracks in there that look like scratches, but if you look at it under lighted magnification, you will see that it needs to go out for repair, or it is unrepairable. That's not something for us to determine. It's something for our repair vendors to determine. All right, guys, that is it. Aside from assembling your instruments according to the count sheet, or however your facility determines that you should be assembling or stringing your instruments, that is determined by the policy of your hospital, or what it is that your educator is teaching you, right? That's all I have for you guys in the inspection of basic instruments over in the prep and pack side. Remember, our function over in the prep and pack side is quality inspections of instrumentation so that we can deliver quality to our end users. As always, guys, stay true to yourselves, keep it 100, continue educating yourself, and peace.